Hello, hello. We are back for the second installment of these 12 by 12 one sheet wonders done by Shani Blue. Excuse me. I have several. So I got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ones out. Like I did last week, I'm just going to do 2, and then the rest of them I will do off camera. And as always, these will be available for purchase in my Etsy shop. All right, so with this, if you remember right from last week, this is like a book. So it's got a cover, right? And then all the foldies on the inside. So first things first is you want to figure out what your cover is going to be. Now, I purposely chose ones that had designs on the bottom of the page. Okay. So for these, you're going to score it right down the middle at 6. Okay. Very simple on that section. Then on your other 2, you're going to score each one of them a little different. Let me try to figure out, because I have this on this one, I want to figure out where that's going to go. So on the end of that one, or yeah. Okie dokie. Put those off to the side over there. So on one of these, you're going to score it at 1 inch and 7 inch. And that is this piece right here. So you got, this is your 1 inch, 7 inch, and then here's the rest of it at 5 inches. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to do at 1 and 7. Okay, and this one you're going to do 2.5, 6.5, 9.5. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. So I then put my board. Like, what's this called? I can put my board away. So 1. Hit my finger there. And 7. Dang it, I did it again. And then this one, 2.5, 6.5, 9.5. Okay, so we're going to set these 3 aside. Put that down next to me. Bring this in. So this, simple. This is just being folded in half. This is your front. This is your back. Okay. Then from there, you're going to take your 1 inch and you're going to fold it backwards. And that is going to be glued right here on the back of your front cover. And you're going to line up this fold with this crease this way. Wait a minute. This way. I'm like, what did I do here? Fold it toward the front. And you're going to glue this flap onto the front cover, lining this fold up with this fold, going up to but not over, because you want this to be able to close still. Okay? You could glue this just on two sides if you wanted to make this like a little tuck pocket on that front, which I think I will. And you're going to want to glue along this edge down here. So along that long edge, up the two little short edges, and that makes this into a little pocket. Make sure you're the right way up to, but not over that fold line. Again, you want this to be able to close. Okay? So what this does is, where'd my little card go? There it is. This leaves this as a little pocket. You're glued on the sides here. You're glued on there so you can't go all the way through. Just makes it like a little pocket there. Might as well use it like that. If you decide you don't want it, you can always run some glue up under there and glue that completely down. But once you do that, it's done. You can't undo it. So you do want to keep that in mind. Okay. Now, this is where we're at on this one. So this is this piece right here. And we're going to glue this piece on to here. So here's where we've got to decide. Do we want to cover up those little hearts on the end? Or do we want them to show? Because that determines how you glue this next piece on. Now you see on here, I did glue it this way. That just gives it some contrast. That was for my sample only. You can do that if you want, but it is not necessary. And I think I kind of like the hearts being visible. So what I'm going to do is put a little thumb notch right in here. So again, I know these are 4 inches, so 2 inches to each side of my 0. Ta-da, like that. And this I'm going to put right here. Now, do I want wherever it went? I might not want it if I can't find it. Oh, it's in my lap. Do I want to take this and go here so that I have that contrast and that shows that that definitely is a pocket? Now, if you're not going to ink, which in this case I'm not, because I'm making this for the general public and not everybody likes the inks, I am going to go ahead and glue that on after the fact. So I'm making this into a pocket. So I'm going to glue here, here, and here. Just making that U shape. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was pert near off camera. Okay. And again, I'm going up to, but not crossing over this score line. Okay. Now that it's down, I'm thinking, do I want... Yeah, I think I do. Ooh, I have a hair. I hate that when you get like a random ghost hair like stuck on your arm or something. Okay, we're just going to put that down. And that just lets you know that there's a pocket right here. And it is a short pocket. It doesn't go all the way back. Okay. I do need to do a little bit of a trim here. I also need to mute you guys for just a second. I need to sneeze. And blow my nose. Okay, so this folds up in here. This goes back. So you're just going to accordion fold this up into here. So you're just going to go back and forth, folding it one direction, folding it the next direction, folding it the next direction, folding it the next direction. So you end up with this stair-stepping effect. Okay. And this flips out. This gives you lots of writing space on both sides. Plus, you have a pocket here. Right? And you have a pocket here automatically. So you have a pocket here and you have a pocket here. Now what you get to decide now is what else you want your book to be. Now you could turn this into a pocket, and then this would glue down to that back cover if you wanted it to just open like, like this. Boom. Open like that, and then this folds out, and that's as far as it goes. Or you can leave it a flap like so. But you can turn this into a pocket too, coming down, which I think I will. So we're going to turn this. We're going to center this. I know that's a 6-inch space, so we're going to mark right there in the center. And again, if you want it to be white and match the other one, try not to lose your little divot. In this case, you don't need it. Unless if you've got a double-sided paper, you're still going to need it. But I don't, because I only have single side. Now to make this into a pocket, I'm going to glue here and here. I don't need to glue here because it's already glued to that tiny little pocket. It's already glued for here. So just across the edge and across the bottom. And that turns your back cover into a top loading pocket. So you have a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket here. Okay. Now what you got to decide is what you want to do with this. You could glue this down and turn this into a pocket here, which is a good way to cover up this seam. But the way I did it, this is the upper, this one's the top. So anything that I'm going to be putting in there would get hung up. So I'd want to cover that with some washi tape or something if I was going to turn this into a pocket. You could also glue here and here, turn that into a pocket, here and here, and turn that into a pocket. So if you glued this down, this part would still flap open. You'd have a pocket here and a pocket here. But when you close this over, you'd have a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket there. But you can see it's getting hung up on that. Or you can leave it so that it becomes writing space. You can do just this one as a pocket, like this. This is a pocket, and this stays writing space. Lots of different ways. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue all this down. So, let me get into my washies here. This is not going to be decorative in any way. This is just about making that a smoother transition. And again, remember, washi is low tack. So if you want it to stick, it needs some help. It's going to need some extra glue. This is one of the easiest ways to do it is stick it on the top of your glue stick, hold it down with your thumb, and roll it across your glue. That gives it some extra group. Okay, I'm going to go up so that it's right on the edge. And I'm also going to burnish that down, give it a nice squish. And this trims off. Okay. I put this glue back because I initially wasn't anticipating using it. Okay, so this is smaller than this. You're going to want to put the glue on this side. Otherwise, you're going to have glue sticking way out over here. And you only want to put it up to sides because this is where your pocket is opening. So glue it on those sides. Glue it down. Okay. Then over here, again, this is smaller than this. So we're going to add glue to this side. And again, just the sides. Down. And then this one, this is smaller than this. So we're putting the glue on this side here. This is Fabrifix. It does give you some wiggle room. It takes a little bit of extra time for it to grab than some of your other glues. So be careful if you're using that, when you're squishing everything down, that you don't move your stuff around. Okay. Might need to get my little clippies out. Squeeze those down. So this just creates 3 pages for you. So you have your front cover, pocket here, a big pocket here, a big pocket here, well, about a half pocket. Then when you close this, you have a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket here. That one's really deep. So this pocket goes all the way to here. This pocket goes all the way to here. This pocket goes to here. So it tells you how deep those are. So this pocket is 2 3/8. No, sorry, 3 inches deep. This one is. This one is 4 inches deep. And this one here is 2 3/8. So 2 3/8, 3 and 4. But you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets, all in something that folds up nice and tidy. Now it will be thicker when you're done with it, because you're going to add cards and stuff in here. So it will be a little thicker, but not a lot, not by a ton. Give that a good burnish. It's not wanting to stay. It's not wanting to stay down. And that will get better over time. It'll stay down a little better the more it's utilized. So then we got to decide how you want to close this. Again, this will be up to you. I'm going to belly band it for the purposes of this. But when you purchase it, it's up to you if you want to keep it as a belly band or do something different. You could do a ribbon around it, or figure out how to put, you could try to put a Velcro dot. You could put a Velcro dot there. You just won't be able to hide it. Lots of options. Okay. We're going to go this way. And again, trying to meet them in the middle, so that way if you choose to continue with the belly band, you can turn this to the front and embellish it with something to hide the join. Just put a little bit of glue on there. Give that a nice little squish. But for now, the join will be on the back. And obviously, if you have longer paper, you could do the belly band lengthwise. But I'm using the 12 by 12 branding strips off of the paper packs, so I'm limited by that. Okay, so we're going to do this one just slightly different, but first we're going to fold this in half, because this is our cover. Okay, then we have our one with the 1 and the 7. We're going to fold the 1 inch up toward the design in my case. If you're using, again, if you're using a double-sided paper, you don't have to worry about that. Again, I'm going to do this as a small tuck, or a small pocket, I mean, because why not? It's there. And if the person that buys it doesn't want to use it as a pocket, they don't have to. They can always glue it closed. So there's that. This folds back this way. Just a sec. Sorry about that. Okay, and then we have this one. They are the same on each side, so you just got to figure out where you want to, how you want to do this. Do you want this to go on top, or do you want this to go on top? And in this case, it doesn't really matter. As your page, you know, the pages aren't going to match up regardless. So, like, or the patterning, you know, isn't going to match. And you also need to decide, do you want this to be another pocket, or just leave it be? This one I do want to be a pocket, because all the other stuff I'm going to leave as writing space on this one. Like so. This one's smaller, so I'm going to put the glue on this side. Down, across the long edge. Straight if you can. Down the side. Oop. And then you're going to put this top edge up to, but not over, that score line, just like we did in the last one. And that's creating you a nice little pocket here to go with, so you'll have a pocket here and a pocket here. This one I'm going to leave unglued, so the person that buys it can decide what they want to do with all of these extra space. If they want to make it into pockets, or if they want to leave it as writing space. But there we go. And then I know I have a nice little turquoise one here. Again, I'm gluing it as close to the middle. I'm eyeballing it. But that way, if you decide you want to put an emblem or some sort of ephemera on there, you can cover the join. And there we go. There's those two. So with that, thanks again for tuning in. Next week we'll do part 3 of Shani Blue's 12 by 12 one-page wonders. And that will be this fun little flippy foldy da pocket folio thing. Go this way, and then up, and then down. There's not really anywhere to put the magnets if you do it that way, though. So, I will figure that out. I will decide how I want to put this, fold this up before we film next week. So thanks again for watching. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out if you didn't do so on the way in. The like, the subscribe, the share, all those YouTubey things. And as always, if you know of somebody that you think might like my content, feel free to share. And we will see you in the next video.